Welcome to another Transformers unboxing. Today we have Transformers Age of the Primes Aerial Bot Silverbolt. This is this year's Generations Commander class, and it is the centerpiece for the combiner of Superion. Here we have some artwork here on the front. Some nice artwork here of Silverbolt in bot mode and in alt mode. Then we have being followed by Air Raid and the orange guy. The orange guy is Slingshot. On the side here we have some Primes, Onyx. I'm gonna keep calling him McAdam because I can never remember his regular name. And then I think that's Amalgamus. And here's all 13 Primes. I am not gonna go list them, but we have yet to get Legion Maximo, the Cog guy, the Transforming guy, Quintus, Micronus. We've seen, yeah. So I'm excited to get them all. And on the back here we have some product shots of Silverbolt. And then Silverbolt in his extra base mode here. There is Silverbolt as Superion without the pieces for, you know, the other aerial bots to combine to form Superion. But how this is set up, he's basically just a shell that we just attach the other ones to. It doesn't work as the other Combiner Wars one did, or the original G1 does, but it's supposed to be more cartoon accurate, which is something I like more than the toys being toy accurate. I don't know what I'm saying. But I did get rid of my old Combiner Wars. I'm hoping this one is superior. It is the superior Superion. And then here is Silverbolt with the extra bits attached to the back. So they did give us some kind of use with that. There's some nice artwork of Superion. And some legal here on the bottom. Let's get the cracking this open. As we see, it looks like it's overstuffed, so I'm kind of curious as to what's going on here. You can see better here. It's like it's overstuffed, so I don't know what's going on here. I'm really hoping I didn't get a repackaged one. I shouldn't have. This just came right from Amazon on release day. So let's see what's in here. As I do so, please, if you could, hit that like button and subscribe if you're not a subscriber already. I do come back with videos as often as I get figures, which some people say is too often. Ooh, this is hard to get out. Why is it hard to get out? There we go. All right, the box is empty now. We're gonna set that over here to the back for some reference points. And then we have, this is heavy. I knew it was heavy in the box. Better not be missing something there. We got some instructions here. We got that piece of crap. Garbage. We got that there. Let's start by getting out these. I guess that's a piece of him. It has to be a piece of him somehow. And then here is a piece of the gun. I think we need to pop that out. Yep. Piece of the gun. Piece of a gun. Alright, so I guess this piece is, I don't know. We'll figure that out. All right. Anything on the back to pull out? Nope. No little nothing in there. Let's cut this. And we should be able to yank this out the side. And that is just a big mess of mess. I guess that's his back piece to clip in. I didn't realize it would be like just majority of him would just be this. And let's get this out here. He's supposed to be a Concorde. I used to remember what he's supposed to be. Concorde. Something or other. That should be everything. Feels like it's empty. We'll just get rid of that to the side. If I'm missing pieces, we'll come back and look for it later on. Let's drop this down here now. And let's see what's going on with the nose. Okay, good. It doesn't look like anything's repackaged. It just looks like that big hunk of Superion there. We have that on there to hold the head in place. He does come in Vehicle mode. Huh, okay, that's gonna be on the back of Superion's head, the landing gear. None of this works. None of the wheels work on this. I wish that would have been the case at least on the commander. Oh, okay, so this is the whole gun. It just looks a little weird for some reason. It does have that nose piece here. That there. And I guess it just folds up for various reasons. That doesn't... Oop! Yeah, that doesn't want to stay out. And when it stays out, it stays out. Which way does this go now? That way? That way. And oop! That is just falling. As we see, it plugs in the back here of Superion's head. There we go. Hopefully that stays now. And then these fold down for the landing gear, and it should sit right like that. Overall, it looks like a pretty good plane. Not quite as big as I thought it would be. And then this just attaches to the back. So like that opens up there. Pop that piece off. I guess it just goes in there. Let's look at the instructions real quick here. Alright, that's base mode down there. We don't need base mode. We need this mode right here. And it's showing here that we are attaching that to that piece. Okay. That gets folded up. Goes like that. And this piece gets attached to that. Right like that. Okay. And that's how that attaches. And this giant piece here just gets attached to the back. Oh, these fold out. Okay, that's going to give him a little bit better looking wingspan. Oh, that looks... I mean, doesn't look that much better, but this should attach to that there. And there's tabs under here. Tab into there. But you know what I'm trying to do. And there's tabs here and here that we're trying to get in there. There we go. That tabbed in there, that tabbed in there. I mean, it's fitting in there. It's not tabbing in there very, very well. I can feel that it's fitting in there. And then we close that. I mean, as you can see, it's going in. But nothing is very secure here. Maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. And that popped out. The amount of pressure I'm applying on this, I don't know. Okay, there we go. It went. I had to be a little more just finesse, and it popped right back off. Awesome. I don't think is just me. Lift those up, push those back, push that down, and it wants to come back out. Push those up. All right. Now we'll put that down. Put that down. And it still doesn't want to stay. All right, it is in there for the time being. As far as let's pull this up and look at it from the top. So there is the flying base mode, or whatever we want to call it. It reminds me of a Star Trek, some form of weird Star Trek vehicle. And this would plug underneath the nose, like so, and then everything's all together, and that's what I was afraid of. So I'm really just over that part. But we'll get the idea. That mode, nah. It's neat. Will I ever have him really in that mode? Probably not. I might mess with it, try to get it to stand upright. It also bothers me that this is not standing. Ooh, and that pops off once more. Alright, okay, so that's the alt modes. Let's have a look at him. Let's see if we can transform. I bet you I could transform this pretty easily. Without, and just looking at right here, it's just Superion here on the back, the head. So let's just go for it. These guys all look pretty intuitive. Untab those. Tab that. I mean, this is just like every other Silverbolt, with just a few minor changes, it looks like. Flip that around, flip that around. Is that gold swirly plastic? We'll see what happens with that. Here are the arms. I guess that part pops forward. That head, we can rotate that. Nice square noggin like I expect Silverbolt to have. These pieces are going to pop outward to form the sides. There's some tabs there and there. Let's get those in. One of my favorite things about Silverbolt is that he's afraid of heights. He's meant to be high-flying plane, and he's afraid of heights. And I like how that's carried over to almost every iteration of him. That just goes down. Oh, wings here. But that is what it is. We're not talking Masterpiece. Even Masterpiece is probably going to use some fake pieces. And those just pop out. A little disappointed they don't have, for Commander class, we don't have any kind of wrist articulation there. Like, we're just going to bring that. Is that on a double joint? How does that go down? Or does that go in? Ooh, that might be interesting. Does that go in? Oop. That popped out. So that's on a 3mm peg, the side there. They're not squishy plastic, so we won't have a melty effect or same as the one there. Same as the Minor Wars. There we go. It's in there, nice. That does go all the way in like that. But if we were to, it's not gonna fit like that. So do we need a... We're gonna leave him half transformed here quick. That's how I transform him into Superion. Alright, we're looking right down here, so that's... It should fall in like that. Okay. So what am I doing wrong? Oh, it's... There we go. It has to go a little further. Then I guess... That has enough clearance there. Those fit right in there. Have to tweak that a little bit. Ooh, ooh, ooh! That is tight and neat. Let's get that in there. Okay, that's pretty cool. That fits just barely. All these tabs are just a little out of whack. You have to play with them a little bit to get them in. And then we're gonna want to fold that nose cone back in. Ooh, there we go. I put that off to the side. That down there. There's a tab here. There's a tab to tab that into it. Not really. Oh, yep, that sits like that. We have that sitting back there. And we can fold these bits in. These wing bits. It's a little hefty for a Superion. I don't know how else to say that. He feels a little chunky up top. I'm used to them being very slim. Not Superion, Silverbolt. But he does look pretty good. And we have the head here. Nice noggin. If we move these back, we can get a full articulation here. He can T-pose. Full articulation. Full 360. Full 360. That's also full 360. Decent elbow. And we have backwards, probably because of transformation. And I had discussed it earlier, nothing with the wrist or movement that way. I mean, but you can get a little bit of movement out of it, up and down. Waist swivel. Do we have a waist swivel? Doesn't really look like we're going to be able to do much with it. We do have it. Technically, there is a waist swivel, but it's not... Pop that. Just pop up. That looks like I'm supposed to do something. So maybe I... There we go. Move that down. Oh, there we go. That's much better. Ooh, this splits open. Yeah, I had mistransformed. That all pops in nice and neat that way for the backpack. Giving him a little movement for the waist swivel. Still not much. Barely does anything. We gotta watch the sides because it keeps wanting to open up. And at least these pop out. Like I said, it feels more like a little bit of tweaking on how you do it. You have to just be very precise. Nothing super... Well, that is annoying, I'll be honest with you. How that doesn't quite feel like it lines up. But it might be just precision on my part. Alright. Let's get back to articulation. Really nothing much of a waist swivel to talk about. You can kick forward that way. There are some nice ratchets here in the hips. Kick backward that much because kibble. Gotta need that far. Would he be able to sit? It wasn't for this. He's got a thigh rotation. We talked about the knee. Back kick, ooh, not much. Rocker. Rocker's all standard. He's got a rocker. And because of this joint here, he can move forward and backward with that, even though it just wants to go one way or the other. We can get a little bit of posing out of him. I go back on what I said. This just does not want to tab into place. Let me pop this out, see if this helps at all. Because those are on... Oh, and that just popped out too. Yeah, I don't like that bit. That just keeps popping out. But let's see if that helps with posability at all. And so far, I'm having trouble getting him to stand on his own. He's very back heavy. Is there any stabilizers here? Oh, there is. Good. And pull those out. What is that? We'll look at that later. Okay, now he stands better. He stands much better that way. But yeah, we can get some posability for it. That still doesn't want to tab into place right. It's a kind of like a weird... At least he's not hollow. I'd be very upset if the commander was hollow at the sides. That's something I can stomach on a deluxe, not a commander. Backpack folds up pretty nice. But yeah, I guess, but all these pieces falling off, he's gonna lose points somewhere for that. We can give him his gun. And there's Silverbolt in robot mode. And this base looks like from here, just head into base mode. Just remove that. And this piece just folds upward. Untab that. Oh. Oh, geez. That's all it does. That's all it is. Base mode looks like it's just that. We just take it and pop it in the sides here. These pieces rotate upward. And by base, it's more along the lines of you just hide the... And then these tabs get tabbed in there. Voila, base mode. You can hide behind there and shoot. Really more of a barricade mode. Alright, and now for Superion. Ooh. We're gonna unplug that. Looking at that, this should be pretty easy. Most of Superion is going to be in these parts here. So this is obviously the legs. And this is the chest. Look at that. Almost looks like Superion already. We'll rotate those to the back there. Then this kibble here is going to split in half. And we will just untab that. And one's for legs, one's for arms. Rotating that up and that piece up. We know where that's going to go. This here is a spot to plug in. I wonder what that is a spot for. We'll see that down for now. Bring that down, clip that in place. That's his foot. Press that. That's the seal up. So we can have him looking like Superion without anything actually attached to him. I don't know if these are... Okay, this is the right leg. Or left leg. because this dot here is there. What? They are backwards on that photo. Okay, I guess it doesn't matter. That photo is in mirror image. They. Well, that's some good posability. We'll take this one off here. We'll do the same on this side. Oh yeah, I gotta move this part first. That's just gonna pop up like that. That's gonna go down like that. And these seem like stabilizers, but it looks like we're supposed to put them on the back like that. Sorry about that. If I've been sounding funny, I'm getting over a cold. Again. So let's fix that. And there's pretty much the overalls of Superion. The arms, like we're just gonna pull those down, and these are just gonna flap. Those are just gonna flap. Okay. Extend that, and then those peg into the sides here, and that's gonna peg into the side when we get him all set up. And at least that has a wrist rotation. Mushroom peg. Mushroom peg, is my bane lately. I don't know if it's me. Well, let me know in the comments if anyone else is having problems on the mushroom peg just flying out lately. But this is the... Huh. That's troublesome. Is that the wrong wrist? Oh, there we go. There we go. That's the right wrist. Okay. I thought I had it the wrong. No, that is the left arm. Right arm. Unpeg that. Get that down. Pop that there. That's just gonna go to the side. Nice rationing joints there. And now let's have a look at this guy here. It's probably easier to transform him when he was in robot mode. Or jet mode. Let's see if we can undo that. Let's tab that back. Let's pull his head up. That is an odd looking head without the bits. Yeah. The extras. Let's hide the head here. Let's get rid of the hands. None of that moves. Close those up. It looks like these are what plug in the sides? Nope, maybe not. So we're right back into there. That is a horrible mutation right there. We want to rotate the head backward though. The arms being like this. It's pretty much just transforming him back to jet mode with some minor differences. We're going to take this, and there's going to be a second joint here that we got to make sure we pop out. We're of course folding those up, and we're going to go in that hole here, and that joint, second joint, is going to allow us to finish that. As we see, I'm still having trouble getting those to take in properly, and then we have a joint here to pop into that. I don't know if we really need to do that, but I'm going to do that. Then we can fold that side down like so. Same on this side. Pop this. Get that joint to pop out. Set the line up. Bring that foot down to his shoulder. To form the shoulder. And we can peg that in the back once more. So these look to be the same on either side. I just can't stand looking at him. His dome. There we go. And now we should be able to peg it into there. Let's first start by laying that on there, onto the shoulder. And we can slide that onto the other shoulder. Sending it like that. Ooh, that popped off. Slide that down, and it should peg in using this little bit here. That should peg in. There we go. Nope. Oh, no, we want to unpeg these. That's what's going on here. We don't want those pegged in. There we go. That slides nice and neat right there. And nice there. So now we have top of Superion to Superion's overalls. And we're going to pop this in here. We have holes here and big square pegs here. This here should fold up into the back here when we're all said and done. So I'm just going to leave those unpegged. And we're going to make sure that's flush. These here are flush at the top. And we're going to put that down. There are pegs here and here. Now that that's attached, we should be able to peg that in like so. I'm going to lift this up a little bit. Oops, I unpegged that. And there went one of his ears again. All right, let's put that down. We are going to exact opposite way you actually put on overalls. Push it on the front. These here are going to peg down. Let's make sure we have that lifted up. That pegs into place, and then we can lift that back piece up, and that should peg into the hole back there. And then this should fit nicely into that hole there. Do that barely. So that entire backpack secures really well. Very, very solid. And we can, of course, fold that back if we want, or leave it over on the side. It looks like in the photos that it's in the back, because we're not actually ever seeing the back in the photos. And we should be able to pull these down like this. Now it shows in the instructions that these would fit flush. I don't see how that would be possible for them to fit flush. And the wings just kind of like flap off to the side. I feel like this here makes more sense, where we'd be actually folding them back. Let's get the other ear on, and we'll pull him back. And then, of course, we can give him his gun. I'm gonna unfold that out, take the little gun, pop it onto the nose, and let's get the 5mm peg out there. Doesn't look like much of a gun this way or that way. I think I liked the Minor Wars gun better. And how it's positioned, it looks like you have to pop this into there. But it's not a giant intrusive gun like a motor. Our last Commander plus Minor, forget their names. With Motormaster and not Bruticus. But yeah, the gun's a little more streamlined, which is okay. There's pretty much what we expect from Superion and Silverbolt. All we gotta do is attach our guys here and here, and we got our full Superion. Articulation. This guy has some good ratchet joints. Articulation wise, let's just have a go at that. We can get a full 360. We can T-pose. I know it looks weird right now without any other bots attached. It looks a little like he skipped arm day. We have a slight waist swivel in this mode. Very slight, because of arm kibble. He does have elbows. Also ratchet jointed. His head is on a ball joint. We gotta watch the ears. As we saw earlier, we do have full 360 rotation with the wrists. And we can get a little bit of movement out of them thanks to the transformation. He can do full splits. Wow. Kick back. Better than in Silverbolt form. Kick forward. Almost a full 90. Almost a full 90. Knee. Would he be able to sit? Yeah, actually, he'd probably be able to sit. Commander can sit. He does have that extra articulation there, so we can do a knee there. So it's a double jointed knee. So we can get some interesting dynamic poses out of that because of the transformation. It does make a double jointed knee. And then we have rockers. This does go like that, so we can get if we open it up, but it's not going to be very steady. And like I had said, one of my favorite things to do is, can he do a Van Damme sidekick? And he most definitely can do a Van Damme sidekick. That is not that he can, that he can stand on it. That's the thing. He can pose on that. So overall, this is nice articulation on this guy. Nice articulation. He looks very... Oh, we have thigh swivels, which would do a full 360. Yep. And somehow I feel like these should be back here. So that's just a simple... There we go. To fix that. That's better. But yeah, that looks... I like that. It's going to look a lot better once we have all the aerial bots attached to it. Let me break him down. And... Let's talk reviews. So... I don't know if it's fair to do Superion, because Superion looks like he's not done yet. On the other hand, it is a full Superion already. Let's just talk alt mode. His base alt mode I like, not his base. His jet alt mode I like a lot. It looks like it's a little skinny, but it looks good. So we'll give that we'll just give that a 5. No, we'll give it a 4. Something's just a little tiny off it. It could have been bigger. And that's what I feel like it should have been, a little bit bigger. Yeah. Because that his let's put it back in there real quick. Have a look at it. Because really, it's just this. Oops, there we go. Oh, now you want to stay tabbed in. There we go. And we'll pop open that and flip that out. No soft plastic anywhere on it. Biggest gripe in this mode is, of course, what is my biggest gripe in this mode? No, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. This is a 5. Biggest gripe with the mode is that this is too far back, and it pops out way too easy. It feels like they wanted to put something up front here with the gun. What it is. So, do a 5. It looks pretty good. Alt mode. That was alt mode, rather. So back to bot mode. Bot mode looks like Silverbolt. Looks very much like Silverbolt, but he feels a little like he's been working his pecs a lot. So that's going to be... Pop that forward, pop that up, around. These are really simple transformations. I just got a little confused when I was trying to attach the power pants. And this here should technically work in there. So if we line all that up nice and neat. Try it one more time here. And I have the head the wrong way. Those should line up nice and neat into those holes. There we go. And that pops in there. And yeah, that's good. That's good. I guess you guys just gotta try it a couple times. And we'll give that bot mode. Okay. There we go. We'll give that bot mode a 5. It looks like Silverbolt. Looks a lot like Silverbolt's model. Transformation, we're going to lose some points because how easy it is for things to pop off. That's just going to be a simple 4. All transformations are pretty streamlined, pretty simple, and they match up fairly well with what it's supposed to be. So yeah. For value, price point, we're talking $90 right now. It's a lot of money. This is a good figure. It feels more like more between a Voyager and a... If you're buying it just for Superion, this is not worth it. Okay, this would be like a 2 or a 1. If you're buying, I'm sorry, for Silverbolt. But because of all the extra pieces, it does add a lot of value to it. I'm still going with a 3 on it. It's a great figure. It is a great figure. It just feels like it's overpriced. It feels like it should have been some kind of other price point than $90. We'll do a 4. Brand 4. So that should give the overall a 5 for Vehicle. 5 for Silverbolt. 4 for transformation. And we'll do a 4 for price. The extra pieces, you can take them or leave them. The extra sets, I'm not going to combine these back into that right now. I'd say get them if you want them. If you want to do a nice, really good-looking Superion, cartoon-accurate Superion, get it if you want it. Your money, your choice. But I'm happy with it. Like I said, it just feels like it's a little more expensive than what it should have been. And those pieces popping off just drive me nuts. But that's what we have in the box today. So if you are still watching, thank you very much for watching. If you are, please hit that like button if you haven't already, and subscribe if you're not a subscriber already. I do come back with videos as often as I get figures. Any way you can support the channel, that would be awesome. Drop a comment below if you're getting this guy, if you like this guy, if you're having the same issues of those pieces popping off as me. But once more, and as always, thanks for watching, and have a wonderful day.